a guardian watching over me. How can I explain the fear? No longer anyone calls my name. I don't know where to go, I don't know what to see. Everyone surrounds me, I don't know who to be. Down, 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 down. My life is going round, 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 round. Oh, 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 why can't you see? Got a guardian watching over me.
Gentlemen. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Table Talk Thursday, episode 45, with your host,
or whichever. I always say I'm host. Don't mix it up on me, Devin.
We're gonna mix it up on Mixer.
Oh, Lord have mercy. Also known as David, and my co-host here and friend.
Reading this, also known as Kenneth.
So there we go, everybody.
So thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you all for joining us. As per the norm, we are here normally. Realistically, I should probably change the time to like 8:30 or something.
Probably 8.
It just turned super orange.
Yeah.
It looks like. I was gonna say it looks like the color of my piss, but then you're gonna say that I should probably get that checked out. I was like, hold on, I'll just withhold that information.
You should probably get that checked out.
I knew it. Nah, it's just called being dehydrated because I don't drink enough water.
You should probably drink more water.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gentlemen, how are you doing? As you may have heard, the tragic news happened in Florida.
From what, 2 days ago now, is it?
Yeah, Tuesday, yes.
It's Tuesday. Yep.
And we will get to that when we get to our U.S. news segment. Tragic. 17 dead, 20 injured.
Alright.
But let's begin with world news. With Russia. Mother Russia. Our homeland.
The great homeland.
Yep. So, Russian opposition leader Navalny's website has been blocked before the election. So, for those who may not know, Alex Navalny, Navalny's.
You got it, Ken?
It's a Russian last name. What do you want?
Sorry, just hold on. Let me see if I get this.
Navalny.
Alexei Navalny. Navalny. Yeah, Navalny. Navalny. There we go.
Navalny.
Yeah, Navalny.
Yes, Alexei Navalny. I just threw an Italian lit to that.
It's fine.
Whatever. It's all the same. Is a great opponent of Putin and is really proselytizing to the youth of Russia who see Putin as a dictator who's just been controlling the country with him and his Russian oligarch billionaire friends.
Which
and they don't like
far
it.
From the truth.
Which is the truth. And Navalny has been going out there and actively trying to get people to vote for him and so that he can be a major opponent against Putin. However, as we covered earlier about 3 weeks ago, they blocked Navalny from being able to be a candidate due to his prior arrest record. And well, now they've blocked his website. On Thursday, a month before the presidential election, a move Navalny said was designed to blunt his campaign for a boycott of what he says is a sham vote. Because, Putin's been in power since, like, the 90s.
For eternity, just basically.
Pretty much. Navalny, who's been barred from running in the March 18th presidential election, which incumbent Vladimir Putin is forecast to win, because in all dictatorships, everybody wins by, like, 99 points.
Yeah, well,
Hell,
obviously.
there
is no other vote.
Hell, there was one... I remember there was one super corrupt state where the leader won by, like, 105%. It's like, come on, man. Like, even Saddam Hussein, he's like, I won by like 70%.
I mean, that's a, marginal.
I mean, he still controlled the country, but it was just like, 70% is good enough.
There we go. I think I found the magical alert box that was continuing to play over everything else it's not supposed to play.
Well, that's good. So, Roskomnadzor, that's a very Russian name, is the Russia's communications regulator that said it ordered telecoms to block part of Navalny's site because he ignored a request to move material covered in an injunction obtained by the Russian billionaire Oleg Derpatsky. The material is part of an investigation Navalny conducted, which alleged that Deripaska met Sergei Prihodko, Russia's Russia's deputy prime minister, on a yacht belonging to a businessman off the coast of Norway in 2016, where they discussed U.S. relations, and they also had scantily clad women on there, supposedly.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's just... What politicians wouldn't have scantily clad women? Especially on a yacht. It's like, hey, it's a party!
Off of Norway.
It's a party.
With Russia's deputy prime minister. The second most powerful person in Russia.
Why off Norway?
Norway's close to Russia.
Which one of those countries are they? Is it Norway?
It's Norway.
Where they're offering fucking men to go live over there and make love to their women?
Oh, I don't know. That's old.
There's a European country. I forget which one it is. It's a thing. I don't know. Either that or it's one of those fake things that's over the internet.
I've heard of it, but I don't know whether it's true.
I don't know. I've continued to see it multiple times.
It's
I'll
on
look
Facebook,
it up in a little bit after I think of the next story.
Yep.
Anyway, new Dutch law makes every adult an organ donor. I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, it's probably good for people that die and, people that need organs.
I mean, if you consider, like, here in America...
You have a choice.
Well, yeah, you have a choice. I mean, a lot of nations give you a choice. There's actually only, now 3 that don't, which is... It's an opt-out system. So
you're automatically enrolled in it and you can choose to get opt-out.
Yes.
Interesting.
Because, like, Spain, which started this in, like, 98... And apparently they're like one of the world leaders in like organ donations because people just opt in. And then also France followed Spain's route in 2012.
Interesting. The Netherlands narrowly passed new legislation on Tuesday that will register every citizen aged 18 and over as a potential organ donor, unless they explicitly choose to opt out, as Kevin said. Senators in the Dutch Upper House of Parliament voted 38 to 36, oof, that is very narrow, to pass the draft bill put forward by the progressive D66 party. Odd name, okay. The bill was already approved by the Netherlands Upper House of Representatives in September 2016, albeit by a narrow vote of 75 to 74. So basically, they're definitely 50-50 split on most of this.
Yeah, I mean, it's a controversial thing.
Yeah, because, like, your body, your choice. Kind of, and then after you're dead, you just. I think part of it's because people want people preserved.
Yeah, because people have this notion that the body is sacred and blah blah blah.
Yep. Also, apparently, as I believe I heard from the organ to get for your organs to be viable, they have to get to you within like a relatively quick amount of time.
Oh yeah, within like a couple hours.
Yeah.
Like basically, you need to die in a hospital.
Yeah. I mean, or you need to die, they can rush to the hospital, and then just, like, rip out your organs there. Is he a donor? Alright, cool. We got someone in the other room.
Pretty much throw him on ice, let's get him over there.
Yep. Because, I mean, didn't you say organs only last for a couple days or whatever?
Yeah, a couple hours, I think. Some last longer
than...
Well, if they're cold, they're doing other things to try and keep things viable, like hearts.
Mm-hmm.
Now they're doing, like an oxygen-rich, like, solution that they're just pumping through, like, the heart to keep it pumping and keep the muscles working. And keep it, with blood flow kind of thing. Mm-hmm. And that's actually really extending the ability to get hearts to people. They're hoping to expand it out to other organs.
Which is one of the most important things that you need to obviously survive. Mm-hmm. But anyway, under the new law, every Dutch adult who is not yet registered as an organ donor will receive 2 letters asking them to indicate whether or not they want to become donors. If they don't respond after the second mail, they will be automatically added to the list, but are free to amend the status at any time. As part of the changes... Are you brothers? No, we're not brothers, Isaiah. Anyway...
you see this white guy here, and you see me. I'm super tan.
See, I could get that tan, actually.
That's the mustache. Come on now.
I just kind of shaved off, for the most part, because I had shaved fairly recently. It exists. You can see hair. I also have a giant Mexican mole right here in the center of my face. You can't skip. So,
You're not wrong there.
But anyway, as part of the changes, authorities must consult with the deceased's relatives. The family will also have the final say over whether the procedure goes ahead. So it's basically, they changed it, but now, they have to check
It's pretty much implied, but your family can still stop it.
Yep.
No,
and hopefully, unless you actually signed yourself or whatever.
it's pretty interesting. I was looking at
Because I don't think you can do that here.
the times to get organ donations in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's for like some organs, it's like 180 days.
Mm-hmm.
For other things, it can be 500 plus days. Like the need for organs in America and just in general is so great. Because so few people are really organ donors in the United States.
So that's when you just, sadly, illegally go to the black market. Because they're already charging you premium for all of the legal organs.
Mm-hmm.
Might as well just go to the black market.
People do that sometimes.
No, I believe there's stories of doctors doing that to save patients' lives.
Yeah, they'll go to like the Philippines or wherever and be like, okay, so this person's and they'll like arrange it, like, okay, this person's gonna sell you their kidney, whatever, for like $5,000, but in that country it's worth like $50,000.
Yeah. Mexico.
And then, well, you get
Actually,
an
South
organ.
America. That's one of those things. Is like, what is it in Brazil? It's cheaper to go get like a lot of medical things done.
Plastic surgery mainly.
Yeah, it's plastic surgery. It's like cosmetics, but
Yeah.
they do really good jobs. I think for the most part.
Mm.
Versus here, where it costs tons of money because it's cosmetic again. I don't know. I still think it's kind of bullshit personally for me. Like somebody that wears glasses, that glasses and like eye stuff is counted as cosmetic.
Well, glasses aren't cosmetic. That's why insurance covers some of it.
Yeah, no, but it doesn't cover like LASIK if you want to get away from because basically you could make the argument, hey, I get glasses every year because insurance. Actually, most of them don't even let you get glasses every year. I think some of them
Every
do.
2 years, maybe.
Yeah, you're like, hey, instead of doing that, for all of my life, you could just pay like $2,000 per eye, and help me get LASIK or whatever,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm done.
Or like contacts. Like I was looking. So like my previous eye insurance only covered like 150 in contacts, but I was looking at another one. It covers full contacts.
Wait,
Like they're the only.
you got one out of? You got a separate like standalone
Yeah.
eye class or eye plan than what the school had offered.
Yeah. Anyway, so I don't know. This is pretty interesting. I mean, I'm sure it'll save a lot of lives, like it says here. So organ donor shortages have been a problem in the Netherlands, according to Dutch broadcaster NOS. Some 57 people died waiting for a new organ during the first half of 2016.
Yeah, and that sort of thing happens. Then again, some of those are like high demand, organs or things that like people have to die for because you can't get a heart, transplant unless somebody dies.
I mean, most organ donations, they're pretty much dead.
Huh? No,
Because
some
some,
people
yeah.
that donate organs or whatever, like was it a kidney or something like that?
Yeah, but most of the time, in those cases, they're like family or friends or something like that.
Well, it still counts.
But it does
people
count,
die
but it's
from
not
that.
the majority of organ donation cases.
I guess.
Yeah, we're playing Sunday. I guess he's asking if we are.
Who's that?
Napping.
Nappy Coon.
So, this is just fucking...
Or do I have to be disappointed?
Okay, that's what I'll find out.
Disappointing! I'll sit here and wait for you.
Yep. So, this is fucking ridiculous. So, the UN Security Council mulls Saudi praise for Yemen aid package. So, for those who don't know, which I assume is probably a lot of people, Saudi Arabia has been bombing Yemen to the Stone Age for many years now, with American backing and support. We're providing them with cluster bombs and other munitions and weapons and planes and shit. So this is just ridiculous. So the United Nations Security Council is considering a British proposal to praise Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates for pledging nearly $1 billion to ease Yemen's humanitarian crisis, as UN experts accuse the Saudi-led military coalition of using the threat of starvation as an instrument of war in Yemen. I love it. The United Nations on one side, yay, Saudi Arabia, we love you. the experts within the UN, these people are horrible. Who are we going to listen to?
Well, it's like that thing I say. I'm telling you, man, the UN's like kind of useless.
Now, at least the experts in the UN are like, no, this is bad. Why are you doing this? Stop.
I don't know, man. I told my mom actually about the whole Rohingya, genocide,
Yeah.
crisis thing, and I was telling my mom, I was like, now that we kind of thought about it, like, we've noticed that zero mainstream media has brought this up. Like, it's nowhere. It's not even on the internet. It's on the internet in, like the
international
UK,
media. Yeah, UK media is
because
covering
BBC
it.
and stuff covers it. That's where we
BBC
get
and
our
Routers, AP.
we don't even, like, I'm pretty sure nobody in our country knows it exists unless they are, like, a descendant of a Rohingya Muslim or something like that.
Yeah, I mean, I've never seen CNN or MSNBC or...
Not even a shitty online article, which some of these places do.
Mm-hmm.
Like a, one paragraph online article.
Nothing.
Nothing.
I mean, there's war crimes and genocide going on. Not newsworthy. Anyways.
Apparently he really wants to jump on Arma when she get off and, like, do her streaming. That matters.
Okay.
That's what streamer mode's for, everybody.
So the draft seen by Reuters on Thursday broadly expresses concern about civilian casualties and restriction on commercial and humanitarian food, fuel, and medical supplies, and calls on all parties to allow unhindered aid access to Yemen. The Security Council should be naming and shaming everyone, said Human Rights Watch UN Director Louis Charbonneau. A statement that condemns one side, the Houthis, but doesn't mention the abuses of the other side, the Saudi-led coalition, simply nurtures the atmosphere of impunity. Which, I mean, they have the backing of the United States. I think that was already a given that they could do no wrong.
Well, the U.S., of course, we can do no wrong.
So the independent UN experts monitoring Yemen sanctions reported to the Security Council that a coalition blockade in November of areas under Houthi control, which Riyadh is the capital of Saudi Arabia, said was to stop the flow of arms to the Houthis from Iran, had the effect of using the threat of starvation as an instrument of war. Yemen relies heavily on food imports and is on the brink of famine, nearly 1 million people who have been infected with cholera. The UN expert said Saudi-led coalition airstrikes and indiscriminate use of explosives by the Houthis and fighters loyal to the late...
Good?
Yeah. So the late former Yemeni president, Ali Abdullah Saleh, disproportionately affects civilians in Yemen in 2017. The panel has seen no evidence to suggest that appropriate measures were taken by any side to mitigate the devastating impact of these attacks on the civilian population.
I figured out why I didn't get your call. My phone was completely silent instead of on vibrate.
Yeah, I don't know why my phone does that randomly.
My phone doesn't do that randomly. I think I was like changing volume at something at some point and I accidentally gripped it. Like whenever I lock my phone, I sometimes touch the button on accident. The buttons that don't really work well because the case is messed up.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
Speaking of which, I still haven't messaged that guy. I need to. Anyway, on to our next story. Israeli police recommend Benjamin Netanyahu be indicted for corruption.
Netanyahu.
Huh?
Netanyahu.
Is it Netanyahu?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
That's how it's pronounced, man.
I'm just gonna call him Netanyahu. Let's just call him Netanyahu.
Yeah.
Netanyahu. Yeah. I guess.
Yahoo.
Yeah, I was gonna say Yahoo. Netanyahu. Anyway, after a 14-month probe of various bribery and fraud accusations, Israel's police now suggest that the conservative prime minister be indicted on multiple charges. Israeli police recommend 2 charges of bribery against Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu. Local media reported Tuesday. Netanyahu stands accused of accepting over $100,000 in gifts from Hollywood mogul Arnon Milchan and others. Netanyahu also allegedly asked for positive news coverage by an Israeli publication in exchange for hurting its rival, a free pro-Netanyahu daily. Which we covered that story when that happened. When it came up for everybody.
I mean, isn't that ironic? So he's going to a paid publication to ask for positive coverage to destroy a free publication that gives him positive coverage. What sense does that make, Netanyahu?
No. It's a
I had to double check that because I had to be sure.
It is pro, yeah.
It is pro. Cause
I feel like that the article might be fucked up.
No. I double checked that to be sure because I saw that and I'm like, let me double check that because I don't know, and I did, and it is correct. The rival free publication is pro Netanyahu. So I don't know what he's doing.
So they basically threw money away.
Pretty
he
much.
probably had a friend there that he threw money at, or somebody, or so he knows who owns the company, and that's what.
Yeah, he does. I mean, he got Arnon Milchan like runs and owns the paper. He's also
that's
a big
what
artist.
it is then.
Yeah.
He tried to strike a deal that would have provided him with positive coverage in Israel's second largest newspaper, Yedioth Ahronoth, in exchange for hurting its free rival, Israel Hayom, Haaretz reported. According to the Associated Press, the potential charges do not directly threaten Netanyahu's position in the immediate future, but could hasten the public calls for him to step down.
Yeah, because, I mean, people... I don't know, a lot of people don't really like him, especially considering in his war against everything in the region.
Yeah, I mean, we're not... But we're about just as bad. I mean, like he's like our version of Trump.
Yeah, and I mean, he's surrounded by enemies on all sides.
Yeah.
I mean, he's also defended by the United States, so...
He's Trump 2.0. He's the real Trump Jr. Anyway. But yeah. 6 months ago, Netanyahu's former chief of staff, Ari Haro, made a deal with prosecutors to become a state's witness in corruption cases against the prime minister. Netanyahu's wife,
If there's
Sarah
anybody
Netanyahu,
who knows enough about him...
Yep. Is also the subject of an investigation. Police recommended in September that she be indicted for fraud charges over spending irregularities totaling more than $110,000 at the Prime Minister's residence. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister has allegedly crafted an ongoing public campaign questioning his investigators' credibility.
I mean, if this bears... I mean, come on now.
It's kind of like... It's basically doing the same thing Trump does. It's fake news!
Fake news!
Yeah.
Like, there was a judge who was heading not only his wall, but also, like, immigration. Mm-hmm. And he questioned the credibility of the judge because the judge is Hispanic. Even though he was, like, born and raised in Indiana.
You're talking about Trump?
Yeah. So I'm like, well, he's learned from the best of them.
Yep. Police Commissioner Inspector General Rani Al-Sheikh has publicly implied that Netanyahu hired private investigators to collect damaging information about police officers involved in the case, according to the Jerusalem Post.
So you're just going hardcore.
Yeah, that's whenever I'm like, I don't care. You can have incriminating evidence against me. You ate an extra donut on your shift. Just look at me. Do I look like I give a fuck? Like, really? That's the only thing people could ever get on me. You were doing something you were supposed to do. Okay. And I knew that when I did it in the first place. I don't care. I still don't care now. Are you surprised?
Yep. So
China's going more green!
Yeah. I mean, like we've been covering, China's just doing a continuous...
Green. Well, that's probably... You know why they're planting trees? Probably because they realize that they can't fix their fucking air to be, like, normal, breathable quality unless they mass fix things.
Or, well, I mean, as we covered, you know, the air quality improved dramatically after they shut down tens of thousands of factories.
Yeah, no, but the other way to do it is also plant a bunch of, natural filters, aka trees.
Yep.
Natural
or weed.
oxygen scrubbers. Or weed?
Yep.
Is weed... like, as good as trees or better than trees?
I think they're pretty damn good.
I always thought trees were the best.
I don't really...
Probably because I know plants in general.
Probably because they have a lot of, coverage. They're very large, so more leaves, more, carbon dioxide gathering. So, anyway, so China will plant a new forest covering an area of 84,000 square kilometers, roughly the size of Ireland.
Migos stake off, follow for follow. I'm not a big fan of follow for follow campaigns.
I mean, if you like our content, do follow us, please.
Yes. If
and then if we like your content,
follows, then
we'll follow you.
Pretty much.
Nobody wants a false sub, man.
It's true. False follows are not fun.
Yep. So, it aims to increase forest coverage to 23% of total landmass by the end of the decade, the China Daily reported. Current forested area stands at 21%. So a 2% increase is 84,000 square kilometers.
Which is, it's part of that's because China's huge.
Yeah, China's massive.
China's also mostly isn't there like a large portion that's, I was going to say mountains.
Yes. Very mountainous in some areas.
Yeah.
So, the Central Military Commission said a large regiment of the People's Liberation Army, in addition to the nation's armed police force, which has just been absorbed into the commission, will be deployed to plant a new forest. They say the number of soldiers mobilized is over 60,000. Zhang Zhenglong, head of the State Forestry Administration, said in a meeting last week that China would aim to grow at least 6.6 million hectares of new forest this year. China's total forested area is around 2.
hectares.
Measurement of land area.
Is it?
Mm-hmm. China's total forested area is about 208 million hectares, with 33.8 million hectares having been added in the past 5 years. So it's really keeping on par for them, really. Because I mean, it's about averaging out. The heavily polluted Hebei province, which encircles Beijing, has pledged to raise its total forest coverage to 35% by the end of 2020, and the bulk of the troops pulled back from the front lines. What front lines?
I was going to say, what front lines?
Is China at a war we don't know about?
I mean, maybe they're they're just camping the border between North Korea.
I mean, they've already been doing that.
Or maybe they're also camping the border between Russia, too.
They're allies with Russia.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah,
I mean, we're allies with, Mexico, technically. Actually, no, we are.
We are.
Yeah, and we have people patrolling the border all the time.
Yeah, but that's to stop illegal immigrants, not a war.
Are you sure that's not somebody's war? I'm sure that's somebody's war.
The war on illegal immigration.
That's Trump's war. I'm pretty sure that might have been actually the complete verbiage he used at some point. I don't remember, but I feel like that's something he said.
It's the generic war on X.
Yeah, war on X. The war on drugs.
The war on homelessness, on poverty.
What I mean is, we're just going to displace all the homeless people and hope they just die naturally.
Yep, the war on
starvation.
poverty. Yeah.
That we caused.
Yep. So there we go. I mean, it'll be good. Like Hebei, that does encircle Beijing, and it's one of their major areas of manufacturing. Like when I used to work for a manufacturer, we were working on with a partner there in that region that apparently produced like tons of shit.
It's like all Chinese factories. It's like they all have some sort of weird like die cast for everything, and they're just like, all right, injection mold all the things.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, there's nothing China doesn't make.
No, there's the same, and like as my boss was telling me, you get all of these. It's like all of the knockoffs of like the SanDisk flash drives. What happens is he says that a Chinese man will come in and like they'll shut the factory down, and then somebody else will come in, pay somebody to like open up at night, and they'll run the production line like super shittily and just hastily. But that's where you get all the super cheap flash drives. But it's all the same. It's literally the same equipment. It's literally the same exact, whatever, and even possibly has the same stamped branding. But they're all so cheap because they're like, off the books production running.
Hey, thanks for the follow.
Thanks for the follow, Exo Declan. Exo.
We appreciate it.
Is that? I feel like that's from something. Something anime related.
Yeah, I feel that way too. Sense it. You know it.
Is it Cowboy Bebop? I think so.
Maybe.
He's a Borders film. Yes. No. It's reading the news, man. I mean, the news got boring, sure. But, I mean, we get funny stuff. Like this next story.
This one is just irony.
South African lions eat poacher, leaving just his head. A suspected big cat poacher has been eaten by lions near the Kruger National Park in South Africa, police said. The animals left behind, but some body parts were found over the weekend. The animals left a little behind, but some body parts were found over the weekend at the game park near Hoedspruit. It seems the victim was poaching in the game park when he was attacked and killed by lions. Limpopo police spokesman Motashi Nogopi told AFP. They ate his body, nearly all of it, and left his head and some remains.
Yeah, they wanted a trophy.
Yeah. Well, he's in a fucking park, which is stupid. He was hard poaching, like hardcore poaching, not just
Yeah.
hey, look, there's a dude on the side of the road. Let me just pull out my gun and shoot it.
Well, surprisingly, that's not unusual for poachers to do that. Sometimes they will draw them off of the park, but a lot of the times they just do it because the parks are so massive. Because they're cordoning off tens of thousands of acres of land.
They're just calling it a park,
and this is a park.
But they don't fence it in or anything.
No, they can't. It's a reserve. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
They just leave it open because natural habitat kind of thing.
You can fence in reserves and shit. They do it here.
You could, but again, it's massive. It's hundreds of miles in multiple directions.
I don't know. It would deter dickheads.
Not really.
Yes, it would deter them a little bit. If you don't make it to where you can just drive in and drive out freely, if you make it to where there's only so many places you can drive in and drive out.
I suppose, but but that's a lot of work to manage, and they're also trying to preserve the natural area.
I guess. I'm just saying.
But I mean,
do what we do here, and you'll catch more people.
Yeah.
Have actual, game wardens or something that you do.
I mean, like it says here. So the police haven't established the victim's identity yet, but a loaded hunting rifle and ammunition were found next to the body.
Lion poaching has been on the rise in Limpopo, Providence in recent years. The big cat's body parts are sometimes used in traditional medicine, both in Africa and beyond. Wildlife charity Born Free Foundation says lion bones and other body parts are increasingly sought after in Southeast Asia, where they are sometimes used as a substitute for tiger bones, which I'm assuming is the same thing. They use because tigers represent something or whatever.
I mean, tigers are noble, powerful creatures, etc., etc. Yeah, but it's just ridiculous. I mean, they were saying how they're finding more lions with they're just beheaded and their paws are cut off. So they're just leaving behind the main body, just taking specific parts. And it's just the fuck?
They're probably preserving lion's paws or something.
Well, they're selling them to East Asian people. Again, these ridiculous markets. Anyways, to U.S. news and the Florida shooting.
Which you get to cover. Fantastic.
Yeah. So, Florida shooting. So, as you may have heard, as we said in the beginning of the show, there was a shooting, one of America's deadliest school shootings in modern history, perpetuated by the man known as Nicholas Cruz. He's currently in custody of the police. Right here, it says the suspect of one of the deadliest school shootings in modern American history told police officers after they had arrested him that he began shooting students in the hall that he saw in hallways and on school grounds. Once on campus, according to the police report. And here we have a video of the students' reactions from Snapchat, because apparently Snapchat's the thing to do.
I actually saw a video today on Facebook of one of the kids in the fucking he was filming inside one of the classrooms, and all you hear is that kid just start going off, shooting people.
Yeah, that's in there.
Okay, so you have that one. Did you also see the one where there was dead bodies and people being dragged off? That was grotesque and stuff. And
No.
yeah, I don't know if we want.
Well,
that or
let's
not.
roll this in so people can see what we're talking about.
Yes, let's see if this works. Yeah. Go ahead. Preemptively do this, because that's not going to work. Haha. Haha. I knew you were going to do that. When they hit properties. Oh, look. Now they work right. Haha. Fuck you, browser window. Alright. Yeah,
Alright, so
now we're going to roll the video. Let's see if the audio works.
So be warned, this video includes graphic imagery.
Oh, shit.
It's a pretty large
So right now we're
auditorium.
in a school. An active shooter. It's not a drill.
That's the one I was talking about.
Shit.
Oh my god!
And they use ceiling mounted projectors there. Eesh, that poor girl. She's just shaking. Outdoor lockers.
I just hear boom, boom, boom. And I was just like, what the heck was that? That can't be anything other than a gunshot.
We thought this was a drill initially because we had been having rumors that there was going to be a code red drill for a while. And we thought this was a drill at first, but then we started seeing the headlines. People started freaking out a little bit.
70 counts of murder.
He was a former student of Douglas High School. He got expelled for disciplinary reasons. I don't know the specifics.
Yep, so...
Oh, right next to Fort Lauderdale, actually.
Yeah. Well, saying it's right next to Fort Lauderdale, saying Fort Lauderdale is next to Miami. There's like 45 minutes to get there. Yeah, traffic between Fort Lauderdale and Miami is difficult.
Are we going to continue watching?
Nah, let's kill it.
Alright, we're going with fire.
Anyways, so let's just give you an idea of what happened there.
Yeah, that's
So-
pretty hardcore.
Yes. So Nicholas Cruz, 19, carried a black duffel bag and a black backpack where he hid loaded magazines, the report said. He arrived at the school in Florida in an Uber. Let me just take the Uber to the school where I'm about to do this mass shooting. Yeah.
Not like the Uber driver would know.
No. I'm not putting anything on the Uber driver. I'm just saying.
No, but
It's just-
people are going to start blaming people left and right here soon.
I mean, people already blame Uber for everything wrong with the world. What's one more thing?
Yeah, pretty much.
He eventually discarded an AR-15, a vest, and ammunition at the school to blend in with fleeing students and get away from the scene.
That's... I'm going to have to give props to that. That's pretty smart.
It's clever.
So he had a vest, too.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Yep.
As my face lights up as I'm curious now. I live for this stuff. I don't know.
You're gonna get investigated by the FBI, man.
Probably.
A Coconut Creek police officer found Mr. Cruz walking down a residential street about an hour after the shooting began and arrested him without incident. Mr. Cruz faces 17 counts of premeditated murder,
Definitely premeditated.
one for each of the people he is accused of killing with a semi-automatic AR-15 rifle at the Marjorie Stoneman Douglas High School in Parkland. God, that's a
That
mouthful.
name. Yeah, no, right?
The shooting captured on cell phones by terrified students at the suburban high school about an hour north of Miami has renewed a national debate on how to prevent more tragedy.
It's re-sparking the fucking gun control
Because
thing.
something will happen now when things didn't happen after Sandy Hook.
They're not. Nothing's gonna happen.
No, that's what I'm saying. Nothing happened after Sandy Hook. Nothing's gonna happen now.
We like our guns. I don't agree with like taking away guns, but
I can get
The
more
kid's
difficult for people to
19.
get there.
wait, the kid was 19. He's 100% legal to own that firearm. There's
Yeah.
no way to to really.
I'm getting to that next line here.
Okay.
The AR-15 rifle that was used in the attack was purchased legally
That's something.
at Sunrise Technical Supply in Florida. According to the law enforcement, no laws were violated in the procurement of the weapon.
Yep, so there you go. U.S. gun laws are too taxed. They're kind of not.
No,
the
they really
background
are.
The background checks and stuff are really lax.
The background, just wait 3 days, you get it. Or you go to a gun show and you just buy it right there and then.
Yeah.
No background check or anything. That's actually how a lot of guns get into the criminal hands, just gun shows.
Yep.
Nobody checks anything.
I still think the laws are too lax. The laws exist, but there's people that just
No, the laws are kind of lax.
people that
Here,
just disagree. with
show
all
the
of them.
picture.
What's this picture?
Here's that picture.
What's this picture? It's a picture of guns and stuff he used. What
Can
is
you-
this?
Can you zoom in on that? Okay.
Okay, apparently I can zoom like that.
That works too. Let's show the people the picture. So this picture here, folks, is the different gun shootings that have happened for the past 4 years.
I'm assuming the red dots are dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
There's a legend at the top.
Sandy Hooks. This is the shootings, only school shootings specifically, I'm assuming.
Yes. That's how many fucking school shootings happen. I mean, there have been 18 school shootings this year. Nearly twice a week.
So far, yeah.
I mean, there are hundreds of school shootings that happen not every year, but just often.
And then I have to make a point. Now I'm seeing all the fucking stupid people come out of the woodwork. You know, I don't agree with banning guns. That's a no. I also don't agree with fucking, arming teachers specifically. Teachers may be being able to conceive and carry, possibly, but that is like it. I mean, like, there's like, people are like, let's arm teachers, and somebody, especially, Jared had one of those pictures where it's like, there's the whole meme of the dude sweating, trying to push the 2 buttons thing. He's like, trusting students with trusting my teacher with my kids, or not arming teachers or something like that. And I was like, I don't trust people, and fuck no, I don't want to arm them. I was like, it applies to me.
There was a shooter at your school?
Holy shit.
What school do you go to?
Hey, where do you go?
Where are you?
Also, it's been a while. I haven't seen you in forever, man. Aren't you Shadow's friend? Not old Shadow. Shadow Huntress. Interesting, though. Wait. Yeah. If you're Shadow Huntress's friend, then you're in Florida.
Yeah, you are in Florida.
Maybe. I don't remember. I don't remember who everybody is anymore. It's been too long since I've seen that name. Nobody loves me anymore. I'm still here. But yes, anyway.
So, with the Parkland shooting, 3 of the 10 deadliest mass shootings in modern US history have come in the last 5 months. So, just 5 months. 3 of the deadliest mass shootings.
So he is in Parkland, Florida. Okay.
No.
So
it is
there.
your school.
So that we're talking about your school.
We're talking about your school
area.
right now.
Well, I'm glad that you're safe at the very least.
It's very good to hear that. And my condolences for anybody you knew there.
Yes.
Yes.
Too bad you don't have a Discord and Mike would get you in here and just have you talking. Tell us your account. We could have a live person from a live story.
Oh god, we're going to be nearly as bad as those news agencies while the kid's still in lockdown and they're just tweeting at him, hey, I'm from ABC or CNN.
Yeah, but that was 2 days ago now.
Yeah, no. What did you say?
Yeah. Where did Shadow go? I don't know. She's been out. She's been here.
I haven't heard from her since the hurricane.
I heard from her after that. She had come back for a little bit, then she went away again. She got a new job and stuff like that.
Oh, that's
because
good.
her old job was shitty.
Yeah, her old job was terrible.
And the whole time,
and
she
she needs to go to she still needs to go to labor board if she.
I still need to do that.
You still need to do that. Both of y'all need to do that.
I know, it sucks. Anyway.
But if you have some time, would you tell us anything that you know that you've heard? I want to know. People are all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
True. But yeah, no. I mean,
from somebody who's
there.
I
don't know. It'd be kind of interesting. Like the first time ever, we just get a live guest from the story we're covering.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of nifty. It doesn't matter. Besides, shit just happened. We're through a traumatic experience, so.
Yeah, I mean, I don't mean to pressure you. Just if you feel like sharing.
Yes.
Anyways.
Are you done?
Yeah, that's the end of it.
Anyway, okay, on to the next story. Shooting still. FBI was warned about alleged shooter nearly 5 months ago, tipster says. Okay. The FBI was warned in September about a possible school shooting threat from a YouTube user with the same name as the suspect in Wednesday's campus massacre in Parkland, Florida, according to a video blogger. Huh? Hold on, let me make sure I read that right. Because it said he was warned about it. Oh, because he threatened on YouTube.
Yes.
Is this true?
Well, show the picture.
And
yes, it is true.
Do we have the picture?
We do have the picture.
Yeah, so the dude, bro.
Enhance.
No, I can't enhance. Let's do this. Plus Nicholas Cruz.
Mm-hmm.
It said 1 hour ago, and 20 whatever.
In 20s. Yeah, September 24th. Yep.
This comment has been left on my YouTube channel. The comment has been reported to YouTube as well. School shooting threat September 24th, 2017 at 8:14 p.m. But it said 1 hour ago. So I guess that's whenever it
That's
happened.
when he took it, yeah.
Yeah, because it's 7:56 p.m. So yeah, I mean, I'm not. Did he notify? Because a lot of times you see shit like that online, you wouldn't notify.
No, he did. It's part of the story.
Interesting. Well, then that paints a terrible picture for obviously FBI as well. Yeah.
Yeah.
But they can't. I mean, unless they went over there, they could have investigated the kid. They could have been like, "It was a prank, bro." I don't know. It's one of those terrorist things. This is a touchy subject because I've been locked up for terrorism for something I didn't even do. So, yeah, that's how this works. Anyway, that fucking night. Ben Knight. I'm guessing. I don't know. Ben Knight.
Ben Benight.
Yeah, is it Ben Benight? That's such a fucking
It's a
weird
horrible name.
Yep.
Yeah, his parents should be ashamed.
Yep. The 36-year-old YouTuber, YouTube video blogger from Mississippi, noticed in September an alarming comment on a video he'd posted. He told CNN he immediately contacted the FBI. It was one of at least two alleged threat reports about the suspected shooter that the FBI received, according to law enforcement official. In both cases, the FBI did not share the information with local law enforcement. So basically, they were like, "Okay," and they just left it alone. Mm-hmm. Ben Knight said he followed up with a phone call to the FBI. The comment on YouTube has since been pulled down. Well, because he reported it on YouTube, so YouTube pulled it, I'm guessing. Mm-hmm. According to Ben Knight, agents from the FBI's field office in Mississippi contacted him and came to his office to conduct an in-person interview the next morning. Ben Knight told the agents he didn't know anything about the... He told
well, it's surprising how quick the FBI is to
go question you and like fuck with you, but how quick they are to, how slow they are to not do anything. The FBI special agent in charge of the Miami division, Robert Lasky. I feel like that's a familiar name too.
I don't recognize it.
It's probably because of fucking Halo. Robert J. Lasky is an important character in the Halo universe. Anyway, or like somebody mentioned it. Anyway, confirmed Thursday morning that the Bureau received a tip last year about the YouTube comment. No other information was included with that comment, which would indicate a time, location, or true identity of the person who made the comment. Lasky said during a news conference, the FBI conducted database reviews, checks, but was unable to further identify the person who actually made the comment. Which is, well, true and false. From an IT perspective,
they could have gotten a warrant and gone to YouTube or Google and be like, "Hey, we need information on this person," and they would have had to given it.
Yep. They could have done something.
Some more information on the shooter. Apparently, he's memories.
Memory.
No, I'm thinking of the other one. No, I'm trying to remember. Yeah, no, with the 19-year-old Nicholas Cruz. I'm trying to remember. I was reading multiple stories, and I think they were saying how he's been living alone. How his mother died in November of pneumonia, and his father's been dead for years now.
That's weird.
Anyways, so, and here we have a school shooter in the making, or rather was.
Yeah.
So, a Washington Everett teen arrested after grandmother finds journal detailing school shooting plot. An Everett teen who was arrested on an investigation of attempted murder Tuesday noted in his journal that he learned from other mass school shootings and wanted to make the body count as high as possible, and wrote he couldn't wait to walk into that classroom and blow all those, I'm assuming, fuckers away, just as expletives. Could be anything.
It's probably fuckers. I don't know what else you use instead of fuckers.
Yeah, difficult. The 18-year-old student was arrested at Aces High School after his grandmother called the police to report that she had read a few pages of her grandson's journal and was alarmed.
Let's see what this little fur has in his book. Instead of lacking penis, he wants to kill everybody. This is actually a problem. This is bad. This is very bad.
I didn't even know. Anyway, so we're grateful for the grandmother. It couldn't have been an easy thing for her to do. She said,
"Shit, I don't know, man. Protecting a ton of people's lives versus your family member. I think it's an easy choice for a lot of people."
Maybe. But you know how grandparents are.
Yeah. No, my little derp can't be an evil child.
It speaks to the importance of the saying, if you hear something or see something, call the authorities.
See, I've heard and seen disturbing shit, but I'm just so jaded to the world and everything, and like
it's like the Night Vale quote: "See something, say nothing, and drink to forget."
Basically.
And that's what she did. It's quite possible that she saved many lives, including her grandsons. And it says right here, here's a quote: "So I'm preparing myself for the school shooting. I can't wait. My aim has gotten much more accurate." The teen allegedly wrote in his journal, "I've been thinking a lot. I need to make this shooting/bombing at Kamayak High School infamous. I need to get the biggest fatality number I possibly can. I need to make this count. I've been reviewing many mass shootings/bombings and attempted bombings. I'm learning from past shooters/bombers. Mistakes, so I don't make the same ones."
I can already tell you what this guy's looking for. just by hearing this. He's not looking to just kill people for no reason. That's I can already tell you the problem.
He's looking for it for fame.
Yes, I can already tell you the most problem with other school shooters is when they go and they get shot and they whatever, all these mistakes they make. It's because most of them aren't there to.
No, I mean a lot of them are mentally ill and are obsessive and just.
I wouldn't even say some of them are mentally ill.
No, I'd say a good amount of them are mentally ill.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. So the large number of them are from people being bullied.
Yeah, that too.
That's what that's like the joke, you know. Said it's not. I mean, it's a joke, but
it's from
it's because it's true, and it's because it's one of the causes. The other thing is, like you said, you know, mental problems. Like for instance, you know, Katie. Katie said her best friend took a gun to school and fucking shot herself. That's Katie's like. Katie has a friend.
I mean, hell, there was the one guy who brought a gun to our school because he was getting bullied.
What? Which time was that? I don't actually remember that.
I remember it.
I don't.
Because it was a big scandal. The news media showed up and was interviewing people.
Don't remember a single fucking thing. I remember there was kids actually that had guns in school and they got in trouble and shit before. Like there was kids that had rifles in their truck or whatever because they'd been hunting and they got in big fucking trouble. Other than that, no. I don't remember anybody that actually brought a gun to school. Because we'd never been on lockdown while we worked. I mean, not while we worked there. I've been on lockdown while we worked there, but we've never been on lockdown while we went to school there. I mean, the worst thing that happened that I know of, because I was right there when it happened, somebody fucking lit the bathroom on fire upstairs. I was right there. I had just, like, walked out of the bathroom. Was walking to the bathroom with the alarms. I'm surprised nobody tried to blame me, because I was right there. And they're like, it's that kid that was sent to blow up the school before. No, actually, it was somebody I knew. They poured, like, lighter fluid down it and lit it on fire like a bunch of jackasses.
I forget it.
Something really stupid like that. And I was like, well then. So you guys are fucking retarded.
Yeah, I'll find out what it was. I'm trying to remember the guy's name. It's not ringing any bells.
I think it might have been somebody that almost have. I really don't think anybody actually brought.
No. They brought a gun and they showed it off. I remember that distinctly. They just brought like their father's handgun or something because they were getting bullied. And well,
I think he showed it off, but he didn't pull it out to shoot anybody.
No, he didn't. He showed it off, and then somebody had mentioned it to a teacher or something, which was then by the police.
Yeah.
Let's see. The teen's grandmother then looked into her. So the 18-year-old goes on to write about it being a coin toss about which school to shoot up: his former school, Kemayak, or his current one, Aces. The teen's grandmother then looked into her grandson's guitar case and found a semi-automatic rifle inside and was shocked to find it. Seemed he was close to carrying out the detailed plans he wrote about. She told police she had not known he had a rifle. Police then peeked into the teen's room, saw 2 military grenades, and left to get a warrant.
See, that's interesting. Wait, hold on, what? They did what now? That process.
They peeked into his room, saw that there were grenades, and then got a warrant.
How did they peek into his room?
Probably because the grandmother let him in.
Oh, I think at that point they don't need a warrant.
You would think.
Because I mean, they had probable cause, which the guy gave him, and then the grandma also gave them access to another person. Oh, he's 18. The reason why is because he's an illegal adult, so he has his own everything. Like he says, he tried as an adult. I was gonna wonder how he bought a rifle without his parents knowing he wasn't 18. He's 18. That's legal again. Again, that's legal. Although I want to know where the fuck this kid got grenades from. Military grenades from
eBay.
Those. You can't buy grenades off eBay.
Yeah.
I don't think. I guess he found somebody special online.
I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult. It's the internet, man. I mean, I can buy bricks of cocaine if I want it online.
Can you?
Yes.
Oh, really?
Probably.
I don't know.
If I get enough bitcoins, I can buy a hitman.
Well, okay, that's true, because that's different. That's a Bitcoin. I guess you could do anything with Bitcoin.
You can. Well, I mean, there's the Silk Road, which I think got shut down still.
The fuck is the Silk Road?
The Silk Road was a website on the dark web, which was like the biggest like drug buying website.
Oh, actually, I do think I know that. Yeah.
Yeah, FBI agents shut it down a good 5 years ago. Anyways, next.
Yes. This is the one you were telling me about. Trump's lawyer says he paid $130,000 to porn star ahead of the election. President Donald Trump's personal lawyer said Tuesday that he paid $130,000 of his own money to a porn star who allegedly had a sexual encounter with the president before his time in office. In a private transaction in 2016, I used my own personal funds to facilitate a payment of $130,000 to Miss Stephanie Clifford. Now I gotta look that bitch up. Michael Cohen said in a statement. Okay, Cohen. Neither the Trump organization nor the Trump campaign was a party to the transaction with Ms. Clifford, and neither reimbursed me for the payment, either directly or indirectly. Keith Davidson, a lawyer for Clifford, said Cohen's claim that he paid her out of his own pocket was in complete harmony with what he informed me of at the time of the transaction.
Opal for harmony.
Yep, that's what I was going for there. Just weeks before the 2016 election, Cohen reportedly created a private LLC to pay Clifford, otherwise known as Stormy Daniels, following an alleged July 2006 encounter with Trump. The Wall Street Journal reported in January. The payment to Miss Clifford was lawful. It was not a campaign contribution or a campaign expenditure by anyone, Cohen said. When asked why he made a payment, Cohen told CNN, "Just because something isn't true doesn't mean that it can't cause you harm or damage. I will always protect Mr. Trump." So that's kind of weird.
I'm calling bullshit on this.
That's weird that they create an LLC. The question here is, did that LLC just magically disappear afterwards?
Probably, yes.
Which would be,
I mean, it's just one
the
time.
first thing you do is ask for records, financial records, right off the bat.
Well, it's still a private company.
Yeah, but for an investigation, they can ask for it.
They could, yeah.
Like, if it's something that could be tied to his, like a federal investigation type thing. Oh yeah, they can go for that, I believe.
Yeah. Well, like I said, so I'm calling bullshit on this.
Oh, yeah.
Clearly he fucked Stormy Daniels, Trump did, and tried to hide it, because, of course, she waits till the presidential election because he's getting big, and then they're worried, very scared, that anything like that, would damage his campaign. So they put a stop to it. Yeah. So in continuing coverage of Trump's travel ban, an appeals court declares Trump's travel ban unconstitutional. President Trump's latest travel ban from 6 largely Muslim nations is unconstitutional because it discriminates against Muslims because of their religion, a federal appeals court ruled Thursday. In a 9-4 vote, the 4th U.S. Circuit of Court of Appeals in Richmond said it examined statements made by Trump and other officials, as well as the ban itself, and concluded that it is unconstitutionally tainted with animus towards Islam.
Oof. Interesting. What?
Well, continue on.
Okay. Why am I continuing on? This is your story. I just read the other story. That's how we do things, Kenneth.
No.
What do you do? Why do you want me to continue on? And I was just say, oh.
In its ruling, the 4th Circuit used soaring language to criticize the ban,
Soaring language.
saying it has a much broader deleterious effect than banning certain foreign nationals.
That's weird. I've never heard that word used in my entire life. What does it actually mean? Fucking... What the fuck is search Google?
It means causing harm or damage.
Yeah, I couldn't even do that. It wouldn't let me. Oh, there we go, define. I didn't know Google had that feature. That's fucking useful.
Yep. The ruling was the second time the 4th Circuit had rejected a travel ban. In May, the court cited Trump's remarks on Muslim travelers while rejecting an earlier version of the ban, finding it drips with religious intolerance, animus, and discrimination.
Sounds about right.
You know, what Trump should just do is just take Obama's travel ban, just copy it and resubmit it.
Copy pasta.
Pretty much.
Yeah, go for it.
And then he can be like, look, this is Obama's thing. You didn't block him. Why are you blocking me?
Thank you, Scorpion Knight, for the follow. Is Streamlabels not working correctly? Because it doesn't seem to. It shows up here, but it's not showing up in the little stupid follow bar here that I accidentally just broke and moved. Whoopsie! That's fine. I get blocked or my face and shit. But yeah, that's weird. Oh, you know what? I think the follow bars. I don't know what it's done by. Does the follow? Does the house? I guess it's only Twitch. It's weird. Anyway, the alert will play soon. Not soon, I think. Eventually.
Probably.
As it catches up 5 years from now. But again, thank you, Scorpion Knight, for the follow on Mixerland. We see you. I see you. You know, whatever. Alrighty then. CDC. Flu vaccines reduce cases linked to worst viral strains by 25%. In an ongoing, fucking anti-vaxxers and people complaining and shit. The newest strain of the flu is not only utterly atrocious, but also like extremely deadly, especially in like pediatrics level, aka kids, and then senior citizens, people 70 something plus. Basically, the people that are normally ultra susceptible to things. That's interesting. And it's bad. The flu vaccine is not very effective against it because it's a brand new strain that just kind of popped out of nowhere. Anyway, on to the story. This year's flu vaccines reduce the chance of getting the flu by about 1/3, but are just 25% effective against the nasty strain causing the most misery, according to preliminary estimates released Thursday. The findings published by the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention come as no surprise to flu experts tracking the worst influenza season in a decade. In a typical season, vaccines prevent 40 to 60% of flu cases serious enough to send people to doctors' offices. This year, vaccines are preventing 36% of those illnesses, the new report said, but they are preventing just 25% of illnesses caused by a type of influenza A called H3N2. That strain, which always poses a vaccine challenge, is behind 3/4 of verified flu cases so far this season, CDC said. Flu experts were quick to say the vaccines remain worthwhile. We've got a good vaccine, but not a great vaccine. Oh no. It is modestly effective, said Arnold Monte, a professor of epidemiology at the University of Michigan. The new data also contains a bright spot. Among children ages 6 months to 8 years old, vaccine effectiveness was higher at 59% overall. Interesting. Totally preventing the flu is not the only goal for vaccination. That's never going to happen. It can also reduce the severity of flu symptoms for people who do get sick. So it has a huge life-saving effectiveness for certain number of patients. That about 70% of children who have died of the flu in recent years are not vaccinated, according to data published this week. I mean, not only that, but a lot of the kids that end up dying, like, they're trying to do the home remedies and stuff. Like, if you have that strain of influenza, or the flu, basically, like
not
your kids.
affluenza.
Yeah, there you go. I was gonna say, I almost read affluenza earlier and I laughed inside internally. But your kids having trouble breathing super hardcore. You need to take them to the fucking
Breathing,
ER.
fevers, nausea.
Well, most of that stuff's normal, but
sustained high fevers.
yeah.
Maybe specific.
I mean, as most people say, I had the flu once upon a time and was like disabled for a week, basically. I couldn't eat or anything. I just sat there, like I said to you last night, watched Fringe and fucking Firefly and all that stuff. Fringe was good.
I've never had the flu.
Yeah.
I've had food poisoning. That was terrible.
Oh, food poisoning's pretty bad. No, you know what's funny? Most food poisoning bouts only last like a total of 24 hours for me. It's 24 hours of, my insides, and then the next day, I'm perfectly fine. And then the rest of my house is like, everyone's like, oh, we're dying. I'm like, haha, sucks to be you.
Yeah, for me it was like a weekend.
I'm already immune.
Because I got sick like Friday night, and then like all Saturday I was just throwing up constantly. It was horrible. By Sunday, I was fine, but it's just that Saturday was just the worst. That's like my real...
This is the worst deal in U.S. history.
That's like my only real major bout with extreme sickness was that day and a half.
Yeah. Most of the time I don't get sick. The only thing that ever happens to me is that I get an allergy infection once a year. When my allergies are ultra bad.
That's something. I don't get allergies.
I just get sinus infections once a year, sinus infection, and then that's it. I waste so much money on insurance because I don't have to. But now I waste even more money not having insurance. You know how much it cost me this year to not have insurance for the only 4 fucking months that was left of the year?
What, $500?
No, $290. Still a lot of money, which is AIDS, but still, it's ridiculous.
Get insurance, man.
But what's funny is it's still cheaper to pay the fucking fee than get insurance.
Wow, that took forever. There's something wrong.
Yep.
Look. We'll fix it.
What? Did you say we'll fix it?
Yeah.
I don't think we could fix it. I think that Streamlabs speaks slow as dog shit.
So, print is dead, and the internet killed it.
I already knew this.
Yep.
I mean, except it's effective here. I mean, we have print media here, and it's perfectly fine. It's not dead for old people, but for young people, we're close to it.
I love some of his comments here. So, the New York Times CEO says print journalism maybe has another 10 years. I believe at least it is warm in here.
It is. Oh, that's because the AC is broken.
When did that happen?
Apparently overnight.
Oh, wow.
My mom even replaced the thermostat with a brand new thermostat, and it did absolutely nothing. And my mom's having trouble. She's called so many different people to come here, and nobody's done it. Fucking hashtag this shitty town.
Yeah.
She doesn't want to call other people that will actually come out because they'll overcharge the shit out of her. They're like, alright, you need to new everything. They always do it every time.
I mean...
and then somebody comes over and they're like, alright, I replaced one wire. It's all good.
Like, has she contacted, like, Hunter's AC?
I don't think she's contacted the Hunter's place, but she's contacted... Like, the only dude that does it really cheap and really well is that crazy guy that she has from...
Because, like, that's who we used at Dory, and I contacted them. And
I see their fucking things, like, all along the roads and stuff.
And they gave us a good deal. Of course, it was a bigger area, but still. Like I said, give them a call. Like Eric with Hunter's AEC. That's, I think, who I talked to.
Nice.
Let's see. So I believe at least 10 years is what we can see in the US for our print products, said Thompson. He said he'd like to have the print edition survive and thrive as long as it can, but admitted it may face an expiration date. We'll decide that simply on economics. There may come a point when the economics of print paper no longer makes sense for us. The key thing for us...
I said, no, yeah, true.
Yeah. The key thing for us that we're pivoting, Thompson said, our goal is to go on serving our loyal print subscribers as long as we can, but meanwhile to build up the digital business so that we have a successful growing company and a successful news operation long after print is gone. Yeah, see? This guy gets it.
He gets it.
Digital subscriptions, in fact, maybe what's keeping the New York Times afloat for a new generation of readers. While Thompson said the number of print subscribers is relatively constant, with a little bit of decline every time. He means death.
Yeah, I know, right? He means like one of the old fuckers dies off finally. It's the same thing here.
Yeah?
Actually, no. You know what's funny? What's stupid is like my mom was bitching and complaining the other day. Apparently, there's people that die. They die off here, and then like their successful, and there's like, I don't want to stop receiving the newspaper. I just want it to be changed to my name. And my mom's like, I don't really care as long as you just send the check. Like it doesn't matter whose name it comes in. It's the same paper. You don't get it custom tailored to you. Jeez. And I'm like,
No. I want my name on this.
Ugh. You're one of those.
The company said it added last week. It added 157,000 digital subscribers in the fourth quarter of 2017. Under Thompson's leadership, the New York Times has become the first news organization in the world to pass the 1 million digital-only subscription mark.
That's interesting. Then again, it is also one of the nation's biggest,
oldest, prestigious newspapers that has a history and record of breaking important news.
Yep.
Without question, we make money on the print subscriber, Thompson said. He also said, digital is growing very rapidly. Ultimately, there will be many times the number of digital subscribers compared to print.
Yeah, especially because, like, the way people digest media these days, like, even though a lot of the people that are turning old are actually, well, they just kind of are like us. They don't really do anything. I mean, like, I don't read print media. I just fucking read stuff online. I don't even do that half the time, really.
I do.
For being honest here. I
read news all the time and on my watch and on my phone.
Alrighty then. Oh no. This is where I'm going. Fort Worth, Texas crime.
I think you passed up that top story.
Did I pass it? Oh, I did post up the local news. This is still U.S. news, unless this is...
No, this is local news.
Is this actually local? Do we have real local news finally? I mean, I guess Texas is local. I'll count Texas as local, which is still huge.
Yeah, sure.
Texas. What is that? That one's not Texas. Texas? That's not Texas.
It's local in your neck of the woods.
Stop doing that. Stop trying to be a cheesy news local in your area. I'm just going to leave you guys fucking. That's what I'm going to start doing. I'm just like, it is separation. Anyway, a single dad walked 11 miles to work every day until his coworkers found out. This is another one of those good feeling stories where his fucking coworkers bought some money in a car. Huh? What?
This is all in slow motion. Sorry, folks. I get it.
He's imgering.
Just look at this. Okay. Yeah. Slow motion.
Boom. Ugh. He's like, I'm going down, but I'm gonna take your face. That's hilarious, actually.
I know, right? Just like, ooh. Crucifix needs to get on that level.
He's just like, oh. I'm pretty sure that was an accident by that dude.
Yeah, it was just sheer.
Actually, no, it didn't. That wasn't an accident. That was on purpose. I saw him throw his body into that. Yeah,
damn,
that was a hard kick
good.
too. That was a good counter to that. He's like, I'm gonna pick you up. I'm just like, nope. That's what you need to study to like effectively defend yourself against people. Yeah, look at that. That was a good snap kick all of a sudden. Ooh.
Yeah.
Beautiful. Anyway, Trenton Lewis, Lewis's legs ached from the 11-mile walk he made every morning to get to his 4 a.m. shift. And yet the 21-year-old dutifully did it for 7 long months. He didn't tell anyone. He's never been one for excuses, especially when it comes to providing for his 14-month-old daughter, Carmen. My pride is strong, he said. Whatever she needs, I'm the person who is supposed to provide it for her. I guess that's true. But his co-workers at a UPS facility in Little Rock, Arkansas, found out, and last week they decided to make things right. When Lewis began work at the UPS facility, he had no means of getting to and from work. I was banking on my feet, he said, so every morning he walked and kept most of his colleagues in the dark about his pre-dawn journey. For a young person to decide in their mind... wait, what? Anyway, for a young person to decide in their mind, if I don't have a ride, if I can't get a ride, then I'll walk. Kenneth Bryant said, hello, Kenneth. If a guy can do that, we can pitch in to help.
That's good people right there.
Yep, the Bryants quietly shared Lewis's story with their fellow workers and took up a collection to buy their determined colleague a car. Most of the employees didn't even know Lewis, but were impressed with his grit. Soon enough, the group raised almost $2,000. The group lured Lewis to a parking lot for that brief union meeting. Kenneth Bryant reached into his pocket, pulled out the keys to a 2006 Saturn Ion, and stunned Lewis. Lewis thanked his coworkers profusely. His first ride in the car was to pick up his daughter for a bite to eat. That's cute, lovey-dovey story. Yeah. Saturns are trash, though, so they kind of bought him a shitty car. But at least he has something for now. That's one of those things you have to worry about. Is like people be like, oh, this is his first car for 2000. Unless you have somebody like me on your side, it's like, all right, looks at this car, thoroughly inspects it, it's okay.
Enhance.
I'm just like, enhance, and then I go see it, and it's just a complete piece of shit. And, like, you turn it on, it just doesn't turn it over correctly. I'm like, this is awful. Whatever, it runs, but I'm like, I feel it in the engine. It's like my mom.
You're just shaking. You're just.
Well, no, I mean, you can feel when something's off. Yeah. But yeah.
Yeah, I figured we need some feel-good stories.
Random person said they fired in a cop car. Did you get charged with assault with a deadly weapon? That's the real question. With a deadly weapon. Dude, I've heard of stories like that where somebody's fucking charged for like farting, near cops or some shit like that. There's been some stupid shit like that. It's just honest stories.
Of course it is.
There we go, that's the Texas story.
So, Fort Worth game room shooters used AK-47s. The police are looking for 5 male suspects who fled the scene of an armed robbery at a North Fort Worth game room Wednesday. One wore a clown mask and carried a rifle that closely resembled an AK-47. I don't know what
closely resembled an AK-47.
So, could be anything.
Yeah, I don't know. It's from what I've told them with my jokes about how everyone's like, everything's an AK. All old people are like, it's an AK-47.
Or AK is an M.
You could be holding a fucking spitball gun, and they'd be like, it's an AK-47. Ah, he shot me.
It's an AR-15 or an M16.
Yep.
Is M16 still relevant?
No, they're old military issue. M16 isn't relevant. There's AR 15 platforms where you can get the stupid polymer stock. Polymer handguard that basically looks like an M16. And you get the carry handle too. Yeah.
So, Fort Worth police were called to a game room at just after 4:15 a.m. According to police records, at least 6 customers inside the game room had been robbed of their cash and wallets. Surveillance video shows the suspect opening fire as soon as they entered in the business. White ceiling fragments can be seen falling from the multiple impacts of the rounds. Let's show the video.
Where's the video? Do I have to actually
Yep.
figure this out?
Mm-hmm.
Where were you, Kenneth? You were supposed to be on the video.
It's
Is it this thing?
I think it's the one at the top.
Is the one at the top?
Yeah.
There we go. It's loading slowly.
Hit roll it, and then we'll switch to it. We're gonna have to skip ahead through the little stupid brief.
Called a press conference
Skip ahead like a second.
God damn, it's hard as shit.
I mean, I could turn. See,
a group of individuals that are responsible.
I could turn it up here. To be very
It's not
loud.
gonna help us.
Yeah, they hear it just fine. So there's the one with the clown mask, and there's the four others.
A video footage from that incident with several surveillance cameras. Just to let you know that the footage is violent, so be prepared for that. As a result of this robbery...
Oh, shit.
So what was he carrying? Pause that.
That wasn't an AK.
That was an AK?
That wasn't, I don't think. I'm pretty sure it was a fucking shotgun. Was that? Did I go ahead on that?
I think you did.
But it
Yeah, I know.
Excuse me?
Yeah.
Hold on, where was
no,
it?
further
Way
back.
ahead. What?
There we go. I think it's right about there. It's right there.
It's right here.
Is violent, so...
Let's see. Does spacebar work?
Yeah, because I clicked it.
Oh, yay! It does.
Shit.
No.
I had it good.
No. So it has that like collapsible like front grip.
It's got a fucking folding front grip. I don't know if that's an AK. That doesn't really look like it. It's also.
I think we get better. I think we get more shots inside. Just roll it.
I'm gonna try to figure that out.
No smoking.
It looked like it had a rifle in the front.
Yeah.
Oh.
As you can see from this video,
It looked like he just pumped it.
these individuals
Nope,
were
nope.
armed.
Like, I mean, shit. How many bullets? Like, it's just raining ceiling.
Fire the weapons.
What is that? No,
Well,
that's not a fucking AK.
what is it?
That's a good question. It looks like a weird shotgun amalgam thing, because I'm pretty sure it doesn't cock it either, but it doesn't have a mag.
Unless he's holding on to the mag.
I don't think so. Because, like,
Fire the weapons.
see, look, it's I swear it's a shotgun, because it would have a mag right there if it was an AK. So this dude is that dude's just pointing. That's not a gun. The dude's just like. See that? This dude's got a pistol though, so I guess he's pointing at people. This is the dude with the clown mask.
Yep.
It's
They entered
something.
the game room and immediately.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a weird shotgun.
They fired randomly in the building.
Everybody's just chilling. Dude's like, oh shit. I'm surprised nobody in this game room had a fucking concealed
The
pistol.
victim who was wounded, she's
Oh,
seriously
that dude
wounded.
just got shot.
The group
Pistol,
is about
pistol,
5 black
pistol.
males. They appear to be approximately about the same height. Between
Like, I don't know why they're just
5
kicking that one random
We want
person.
people to notice the distinctive
Old
clothing
man.
that these individuals are wearing.
He's like, dude, you shot me. And he's like, oh, okay, you
The
good.
first suspect is wearing a gray hoodie.
Like that hoodie's clearly. Like, I don't recognize the symbol, but I mean, that guy better have trashed that.
That's a very specific hoodie.
Yeah, it
That's
really
some,
is. I mean, so is
it's got
that.
its own logo on the side.
Like, so is that. That's super.
That's like a.
I think that's a part of the
Those are
entire.
like. I feel like those are like Hispanic soccer team logo. Like
No, I think
jerseys and
that one is a part of the whole clown mask. I think it's sewn into it.
Very distinctive disguise. Looks like some type of clown costume.
stuff. Yeah.
The face.
What is it?
I don't
Kicking
know
in?
what they're kicking in over here.
I think they're kicking in where that chick is, because I didn't see them shoot anybody. But I think
No, but
this
this is in like another room.
That's like in a bathroom.
Yeah, you would think maybe an office or something.
Maybe, because there's a shredder sitting right
Worn by
there.
this. Anybody
That's
who's
a
had
fan.
some kind of disguise like this.
Who
Weird.
knows what they're showing?
Yeah, I don't know.
Anyways.
They're just like sitting there kicking stuff. I don't
Yeah.
know, I'm still curious about that gun because it's bothering the shit out of me. I'm pretty sure it's a shotgun though,
Two different types of gloves.
because it doesn't. It has no visible mag, but the dude just fired off a couple of shots like it's nothing. So it has what is it, internal fucking bullet chamber. I want to see. There was a good shot of it over here somewhere. Maybe fucking walk by.
A good shot of it.
Yeah, unless actually it might be a fucking pistol with a kit. Because they might have an extended mag out of there.
They entered the
That's what it
game
looks
room
like, actually.
and immediately opened fire.
It's a fucking pistol mod.
They
kit.
fired randomly in the building.
That's why it looks like it has an AR
The
flip side.
bullets did
It
strike
makes sense.
the victim
Anyways.
who was wounded. She's
Yeah, see right here.
seriously wounded.
Just like, I mean, that just the way that looks just like a shotgun to me. So yeah, no, it's definitely some weird jank gun. But there you go.
So, they entered the game room, immediately opened fire. They fired randomly into the building, resulted into serious injury to one victim. Customers and proprietors of local game rooms and smoke shops, which are largely cash businesses, have been victimized in multiple cases now in Fort Worth.
That's problematic. AKA, good thing I don't go to fucking vape shops. Vape Nation.
Just your crucifix now.
It's clouds. Hold on. Before you shoot me, I gotta. You just blow it in their face. Like, now that was a smoke screen. You're just like, hold on. Let me get out, and you just pull out this big like box mod that's like 5. I don't know if
have you seen the H3 one?
Nah. I was gonna say, I don't think. Have I ever showed you the dude who did like 100,000 volt box mod? It's like a bunch of DeWalt like drill batteries together, like super daisy chained, and it's just a box. It's like this big, and it just goes and fucking blows it. He like chokes on it too.
Here you go.
It's funny. It's fucking ridiculous looking. Yeah, that's fine. There you go. Alright, on to the next story. Decaying real estate developers incidents. Judge awards street arises $6.7 million in landmark 5 points case. In a dramatic conclusion to a landmark case, judges ruled that a New York developer must pay $6.7 million to a group of graffiti. Oh, I saw this story. Interesting. To a group of graffiti artists to compensate for painting over their work without warning in 2013. The decision represents a decisive victory for street artists in a case that pitted their rights against those of a real estate executive. The artist sued the developer, Gerald Wolkoff, for violating their rights after he whitewashed their work at the famous 5 Points art mecca in Long Island City to make way for
click on that link. Let's show the folks a picture so they can get an idea.
But the question is, was this graffiti illegal?
Well, the building wasn't. There was nothing going on with it. So let's click on that photo.
Yeah, no, but like this is still a lot of illegal graffiti. Technically, that's the hard thing.
Well, actually, it's no longer quite illegal.
Really?
It says it continues in
because eventually it turns into like a landmark or something.
Yes.
Kind of like Cadillac.
Which is what this was. I mean, look at it. This looks pretty damn cool.
I guess. Personally,
I mean, a lot of time.
Personally, me, I don't see
and effort
I don't
went
really
into this.
Care. And it's just a lot of people's fucking names everywhere above each of the windows. They had to probably get fucking scaffolds up there and paint each of those because like, there's no fucking way they could have like hung off the edge and done it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
one's pretty cool. There's some pretty cool. I like the Apache. My gender is an Apache attack helicopter.
I'm saying a lot of work went into these things.
Yeah, I guess so. I don't know. It's kind of like some of the ones we see here in the trains. There's good fucking graffiti work on those houses.
Yep.
Yeah, there you go. Anyway. In a 100-page decision handed down to... Jesus fucking Christ, that's a lot of pages for what? Judge Frederick Block awarded $150,000 for each of the 45 works for a total award of $6.75 million. 5 Points was its temple. Though it can never be replaced, this judgment is a monumental step for our culture and our art form. Jonathan Cohen, another Cohen, also known as Mears One, the former director of 5 Points. Oh, so I guess it was a group.
A group of artists.
Yep. Judge Block had harsh words for Wolkoff and the 2013 whitewash in particular. He wrote, "If not for Wolkoff's insolence, these damages would not have been assessed. If he did not destroy 5 Points until he received his permits and demolished it 10 months later, the court would not have found that he had acted willfully." So he did it before he had permits to do so?
Apparently so, yes.
So that's the problem? Yeah, that's kind of funny.
That's not just the problem. It continues on.
I don't really care about that. But anyway, Block added, since 5 Points was a prominent tourist attraction, the public would undoubtedly have thronged to say its goodbye during those 10 months and gaze at the formidable works of aerosol art for the last time. It would have been a wonderful tribute for the artists that they richly deserved. So, it's still kind of weird that if you get together, you can paint on... I don't know, I'm curious as to how the legality of that plays out.
Basically, and it says right here, the artists allege that their rights have been violated under the Visual Artists' Rights Act. The case was closely watched by artists, copyright experts, and property owners alike because it's extremely rare for a VARA case to come to trial.
Yeah, because again, that the thing
But
is legality.
how
is an
VARA
issue.
works is that the art must be like significant.
Hello, Miss Mouse loves you. How are you, person?
How are you?
How are you?
And basically that's what 5 points was. 5 points was something that was just an abandoned building that these artists got together and decided to make art. Mm-hmm. And it became a public attraction, it became a monument, an area, an attraction for art.
Yeah,
for street art.
Well, yeah, it's kind of like the whole Love place in Austin that everybody goes to, and it's like the Be Someone like rail bridge in fucking Houston, which people got pissed off because they painted over it or something like that recently.
See, like something like that could probably go to court under VARA.
But the question is like, how does it actually work whenever you're illegally painting on other property?
It's up to VARA's kind of vague. Mm-hmm. But it has to be like significant. I mean, it has to be like well known, like a tourist attraction. It has to be monumental.
Like the Be Someone Bridge, and again, like that place in Austin.
Yeah, exactly. Like those places, something that people know about, people flock to. That would be.
So what I'm hearing is, if I'm a building owner, I need to fucking immediately erase something.
Yes.
Because fuck people.
Yes, if you're a building owner and something like that happens, you got to immediately get rid of it. Because if you let it stay there for too long and it becomes too well known and too popular, well, then you're fucked.
Either that, or you could just leave it and be like, "This is PR."
Yeah, pretty much. I mean,
it's like the whole thing that I say: all PR is good PR, even if it's negative, because that's not very far from the truth.
Yeah. So basically, like a lot of things wouldn't be covered under VAR, like your standard like street tagging and buildings and such. Mm-hmm. That wouldn't be, but something like 5 points and like that bridge you said, and etc. probably would be covered under VARA.
Interesting.
Yep. And this is actually quite a significant step in that direction for the rest of street artists who do something like this. Mm-hmm. Because now, as you say, they covered it up, the bridge piece, that gives precedent to award damages to the artists who did that, because this provides them.
I think they somebody had to like repaint it or something like that. Or either that, or the bridge most of it got washed out. It was something had something to do either I think with the hurricane or somebody did something. I don't really remember exactly what it was. But yeah, it was a kind of big deal in Houston. A lot of people were pissed off because it's like on a prominent bridge. I think it's on the 610, the Be Someone artwork or whatever in Houston. It's right. It's a fucking railway overpass and an underpass for a major highway. Mm-hmm. And somebody re-graffitied over it or something like that. Mm-hmm. And then somebody else probably refixed it. I think that's the original, the black one. Yeah, and then that's the new updated one, I'm pretty sure. Because somebody painted over it then, and then somebody else painted back over it. They're like, no, fuck you. Mm-hmm. I think it's off the 610 or something. It's off something important.
Yeah, it looks like it.
But yeah, it's a big deal for Austin. I mean, for Houstonites.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very recent.
A protected landmark. There you go.
They want it to be a protected landmark. Yeah. Someone graffiti destroyed in the wake of Houston snow.
That's what it was. Actually, no, because that would be recent.
Yeah, it was recent. This story is recent.
Oh, no, the original story I'm talking about was for, a couple years ago. Or,
No, this story was...
No, I know that one's
December.
recent.
Yeah.
How the fuck did it get destroyed by snow? I don't know.
Well, somebody destroyed it. They graffitied over it.
See, that's the other problem you gotta deal with is fucking battling graffiti artists. Although, only a dick would do that because that's a well-known thing. Mm-hmm. I mean, even the city's considering making it a fucking landmark. That's how well-known it is.
Be Someone... So it looks like there's people putting out petitions and such to make it a protected landmark. Oh, here's a change.org.
There you go.
Yeah, I mean, hell, it has a damn Google landmark, and it's even declared a historical landmark by Google.
Which
means Interstate 90.
In Pokemon Go, it's a fucking Poke Stop or something.
Yeah,
that's funny. Sirs, what's up, Panoramic? Anyway, here I go.
Yeah, sorry we got distracted. But yeah, that's interesting. So yeah, that's definitely something that probably be protected under VARA. if it gets destroyed. So this is actually good news. We covered a story about this a few months ago. But the West Virginia city pays former police officer $175,000 to settle a lawsuit after he decided not to shoot a distraught suspect.
Ooh, I don't remember the story. I don't remember us covering it, but you say we did. So we covered it.
Yep. A West Virginia city had agreed to pay a former police officer $175,000 to settle a wrongful termination lawsuit after he was fired for his decision to not shoot a distraught suspect who was holding a gun. The lawsuit accused Weirton Police Department of wrongfully terminating police officer Stephen Mader after he chose not to shoot a 23-year-old man while responding to a domestic disturbance in 2016. This was the police officer who had former army training and de-escalation training, and then the two cops just showed up and immediately shot the guy.
Oh, yeah, I remember that story. Yeah, because we're like, well, he had much better training. I mean, he had de-escalation training. Because, well, realistically, there's times when people aren't fucking, needing to be shot necessarily.
Yeah, and I mean, something like this, it was suicide by cop, is what the person wanted, and what they got.
Yeah, what they got, but not from him.
No.
He didn't play those games.
Nope. The incident occurred May 6, 2016, when Mader responded to a domestic disturbance call on fall and found Ronald Williams with an unloaded handgun. Mader told CNN last year that Williams was visibly choked up and told Mader to shoot him. As a Marine veteran who served in Afghanistan, Mader told CNN that he concluded Williams wasn't a threat, so he tried to de-escalate the situation. As Mader was trying to get Williams to drop his gun, two other Weirton police officers arrived. Mader told CNN that Williams raised his gun and was immediately shot and killed by one of the other officers. No police officer should ever lose their job or have their name dragged through the mud for choosing to talk rather than shoot a fellow citizen.
Yep.
His decision to attempt to de-escalate the situation should have been praised, not punished. Simply put, no police officer should ever feel forced to take the life unnecessarily to save his career.
Exactly. That's bullshit. And they were trying to fucking make it seem like that's what he should have done.
Yep.
Which is, again, that's bullshit. Ugh.
So,
People make me mad, man.
Yeah.
But you gotta...
No, I'm gonna grab water.
Okay.
Do you have any in your fridge?
Nope, there's a pack of water bottles right there. If you want to go all the way to my room, there's some, I think.
In
my beverage cooler.
As long as I don't fall on my ass.
Huh? Oh,
It's
your Hank Hill ass?
Yeah.
My Hank Hill ass. Don't you have your fucking cushion, or do you not bring that anymore?
No, it's in my trunk.
Do you just not care anymore? I mean, these chairs aren't that bad. They're sloped for comfort. I don't know. Whatever. Alrighty then. And now I'm running so low.